Hello, everybody. Um, I think I'm live. Welcome. How are you all doing tonight on this lovely Monday evening? I was supposed to come on at 5, and my family and my kids and I went to Target. Do I need to say anything else? You know how that goes. Um, so, hello, everyone. Welcome to your week. Welcome to your life. Welcome to another day in the life of. I wanted to hop on today and talk about. I'm reading these two books, and you wouldn't think that they have a whole lot in common, but actually, they have a ton in common. And so, this book is called Your Infinite Power to Be Rich, and it is by Dr. Joseph Murphy. When we're done with this, I'll add it to the comments. And this book is by Orison Swett Hardin. I think I'm saying that correctly. And it says, He can who thinks he can. And it brought up some really interesting points, namely, like he discusses our lack of confidence and where it comes from and what we can do about it. And that's something I'm really intrigued by because you see some people who have all the confidence in the world and some people who don't. And you're like, what is it? What is it that gives a person confidence or that takes somebody's confidence away? And so I wanted to read you some of this book. Again, it's Your Infinite Power to Be Rich, because I think that there's a lot of wisdom here in how Dr. Murphy describes what steals our confidence. And also between these two books, there's a lot of goodness about how to reclaim it and how to like access it back. So it says, and I think this book was first. If you're here, say hi. Let me know you're here because this just says numbers. As you can tell, I've been reading and taking notes. It's one of my things. You know, I love to like dig in. This is why I haven't connected with my Nook very much because you can't highlight, you can't sticky note. And so I like it. Like, I like it at night when I'm just reading fun stuff, but when I'm reading personal development, I actually need to write in the book. Okay, so chapter 1 says he thinks if he can think it, then you are, then it is. So this was interesting. It says half win the battle before you begin. So you can't. You could already half the battle is won by believing that you won the battle before you even go into battle. So that's super important, right? And it just expresses the power of mindset. Because that's all confidence is. Confidence is not something real. It's a way in which we carry ourselves based on how we feel about ourselves, right? And so all of us, my confidence vacillates depending on how secure I feel about something and also depending on how good I believe I am at something. So if I think it's like when I was a teacher, I would show up to work pretty confident. And then when I began becoming an entrepreneur, it was new to me. And so I lacked some confidence because I felt like I didn't have enough mastery of the skills yet. Okay, so what was so interesting about the words that he uses is really, he's such a master at describing how a lack of confidence can really rob you of so much. And it says, the moment you harbor doubt and begin to lose faith in yourself, the moment you harbor doubt and begin to lose faith in yourself, you capitulate to the enemy. Basically, give in, right? You're like, I'm yours. Every time you acknowledge weakness, inefficiency, or lack of ability, sorry, I'm getting a call. Every time you acknowledge weakness, inefficiency, or lack of ability, you weaken your self confidence. And that is to undermine the very foundation of all achievement. It's setting our own selves up for failure. It's basically saying to our spirit, you're not good enough for this. Like, so why bother? But you must see a new world before you can live in it, right? So even though I'm at this point in my business, even though I'm new, even though things feel scary, even though I haven't accomplished all that I want to accomplish, I have to be able to hold a vision of where I'm going with my business, or where I'm going with my romantic relationships, or where I'm going as a parent. You have to see it, and you have to envision it, and you have to embody it before it actually is. And what begins to happen is that's one way to grow the muscle of confidence. Because, like anything else, if you want confidence and you lack it, then you have to ask yourself, what brings it back in? How do I grow that invisible muscle? Okay, and so one of the tools is to embody it and feel as if the thing that would give you more confidence, if I had already 100 clients, then I would be more confident in my business. And so I embody the boss babe that would already have 100 clients. And what does she feel like? And how does she speak? And what does she wear? And as I begin to step into that future version of me, then my confidence in the now is building up. It's fortifying. And then he talks about weakness and confidence, right? He says, I know people who have been hunting for months for a situation because they go into a situation with a confession of weakness in their very manner. I mean, we all know a person who lacks confidence. You're not fooling anybody, because when you don't have confidence in whatever it is, whether you walk into a first date or an office, anytime you are exchanging energies with someone, you give off something that allows the other person to recognize that there's a lack of confidence. And it says when you do that, you are living witnesses against yourselves, right? It's just self-sabotage. It's like you go into war knowing you're going to lose. Who does that? You wouldn't do that. You're going to arm yourself and protect yourself against, say, can I win this fight? Because what do I need? If I'm not armored up, then how do I build that armory? And so that's what he's talking about. And I think that those words are really beautiful. It says self-reliance is the best capital in the world. He doesn't say self-trust or self-confidence. He says self-reliance, relying on you and only you. It has mastered more obstacles, overcome more difficulties, and carried through more enterprises than any other human quality. And then this was so interesting because, man, I've been guilty of this so often. When he says to someone that he sees someone with less ability who supersedes and gets a position or gets some, more money than someone with greater ability. So the person with less talent or technical ability is actually further ahead. And he's questioning it. He's saying, like, why would that be so? And the person with more ability but less abundance answers, well, it would look so cheeky for me to have the nerve to put myself forward, right? They're lacking confidence. And so I think I ought to wait until the place seeks me, or I am better prepared. I can't tell you how many times I have done that to myself. I need to prepare and prepare and prepare and prepare. But it's like at some point, cook the meal. You can't prepare to cook a Thanksgiving dinner and then actually never make it, because all your guests would go hungry. Your family would go hungry. So it's great to prepare, and it's great to ask yourself what you need. But then at some point, you have to take action. But the story we tell ourselves when we lack confidence is, oh, I just need to prepare some more and some more. And hi, Sandra, I'm so glad you're here. And so what that does is that blocks your ability to take action. Your lack of confidence, your lack of self-trust and self-reliance is a barrier to action taking, which leads to results. So they run through the whole gamut of self-distrust. This shrinking, this timidity or self-effacement often proves a worse enemy to success than actual incompetence. He's saying not knowing how to do it is actually less detrimental than doing it without a basis of confidence. And I think that's very powerful, and I think that's very true. Take the lantern. This is really beautiful. It's almost poetic, okay? So listen, because this is what I believe. I believe that you have a faith, and I believe that faith creates your beliefs, and then I believe that those beliefs then direct your actions, right? So when you believe that God has your back no matter what, when you believe that God created you to be abundant and to live in abundance, that is your belief. And those are your thoughts. Your thoughts are that I'm going to try this and I'm going to do it because God has my back. I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm safe to be creative. I'm safe to be free. I'm safe to make a mistake. I'm safe to look silly. I'm safe to not know what I'm talking about. I'm safe to act even if I'm not 100 million, thousand, trillion, billion, quadrillion % prepared. Because that would be me. I always think I could be better prepared. But guess what? The person who's less prepared than me, who actually walks into the room and says, I'm available, I'm here, what can I do? How can I help you? How can I serve you? Woohoo, Lakeisha, hi! They will get the job over me. They will get the client over me because I'm sitting here in my bubble of preparation while the person next to me who's like, I might fail, I might be prepared, I don't know, but I'm going to act and I'm going to see. And they learn from their action. In the meantime, they're making money, they're bringing in clients, they're serving, they're transforming because they're answering the call from God. God has put and planted a seed, an idea, and they're saying, okay, you know what? If God put it here, then he must want me to do something with it. And that courage, that faith, that unwavering, like stand in my belief, they'll get it every single time. So then if I show up all prepared, like, look, I'm all studied and educated, and everybody's like, who are you? Because no one knows you because your heart, the part of you that's divine, the part of you that's godly, I mean, God doesn't hide. Then think about it. You know, when you go to the doctor, when you go, think of all the important things that you interact with in your life, whether it's a doctor, whether it's, I don't know, a chef. Like, do you want to walk into a restaurant and a really nice, fancy, expensive restaurant and have the chef be like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good steak. It might be a good steak. I don't know. I tried to make it rare, but I don't know if it was rare. I'd be, bye, see ya. You know, I want a chef who comes to the table. He's like, how great is this? Because I'm the bomb diggity chef. Yeah, you are. I might not even like the food, but at that point I start questioning, like, I like the food because he comes in and exudes confidence, or she comes in and exudes confidence. And that's a game changer. It said, lead them to think of the ends to be attained and not of the means. Fear and timidity are the greatest handicaps to achievement. If I could tattoo that on my head, facing me, so I should tattoo it here. Because we don't realize that God's not blocking us. Circumstance isn't blocking us. I mean, it can. But you know, there are plenty of examples in the real world of greatness that was accomplished through struggle. There are plenty of people who could have easily said, well, circumstance is in my way. They didn't. Because their faith, their belief that they were going to be okay was greater. This opened up with a story. It was pretty cool. It said, I promised my God I would do it. In September 1862, when Lincoln issued his preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, the sublimest act of the 19th century, he made this entry in his diary: I promised my God I would do it. Does anyone doubt that such a mighty resolution added power to this marvelous man, or that it nerved him to accomplish what he had undertaken? And then it gives examples throughout history. It gives examples of great, Joan of Arc, all these people. Do you think that what they did could have been accomplished without this unwavering confidence? And when you ask, well, how are they so confident? Because they believe without a shadow of a doubt that their mission and their purpose and their heart has been infused into them, has been gifted to them, and that it is their divine right and purpose to express it to the world. And, you know, if God wanted perfect, he wouldn't have chose me for the message, or you, frankly, because none of us are. But something about you, something about the way you speak, something about the way you deliver messages, something about your art, something about your craft, something about the tone of your voice, the vibration, the frequency, I don't know, but something about you is right for the gifts and talents that you have. That is why they have been bestowed upon you and not Fred, the next door neighbor. He has his own gifts based on whatever combination of ingredients make up Fred next door that allow him to deliver his message in the most unique and transformational way, right? It's all about, and when you hide that, you're basically saying, no, thank you. Take all this goodness that you've given me, take all these gifts, and do something else with them. You chose wrong. Like, it's basically saying you didn't choose the right person. Huh? You didn't choose the right person. Pretty sure he chose the right person. Pretty sure he knows what he's doing. So there were all these nuggets of greatness. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if you're confident. You're not confident because you haven't done anything. Maybe that's why you're not confident. And maybe you have done something. I'm speaking for myself. I lack confidence when I sit in thought about whether I can or can't. But when I act and then I go, well, that didn't work, I'll try this next time. You have no room for a lack of confidence because you're constantly pivoting and shifting and fixing. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, what didn't work? That. Okay, I'm going to try it again this time. I'm going to try it different this time. This time I'm going to go to the left. This next time I'm going to go to the right. So by default, you're building confidence because you're constantly renavigating, you're constantly recalibrating, you're constantly resetting. That builds confidence. What doesn't build confidence is stewing and simmering and marinating in doubt. This says, the Bible says, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. Guys, we're basing all of our confidence on money. A lot of us, me. Hello. But we're so much more than that. My daughter said it the other day. She was like, saw someone homeless in the street and she's like, the only difference between them and us is like paper. We are more. Our value is more. Our message, our unique message, which might not be as sad as someone else's or as happy as someone else's or as extravagant as someone else's, it's ours. It's our unique story. And it is completely the exact message, story, and lesson that a human being out in the world is waiting to hear. And they can't hear it because you won't say it. So, some confidence tips for tonight. I may come on and give more tomorrow. I may talk about something else tomorrow. I don't know. But if you want to know all the things that are Linda Krause Barnett, I have a book called Reboot Your Life. I have a podcast called On Tap, where we brew the perfect, it says, now serving the perfect brew of humanity and divinity, and it's yummy. I have, so I have the book, I have the podcast, I have something I've just started called Zenith Academy, which is like a school for the soul. It's not like a school for the soul, it is a school for the soul. So go on to my website, which I will post in the comments. It's actually lindabarnett.biz, and look me up, and all my good stuff is there. And let me know how I can help. Let me know how I can serve you. And how I could pivot your perspective and show you that confidence is just a state of mind, and we can fix that. And it doesn't need to be fixed. It needs to be shifted. It needs to be enforced. It needs to be motivated and inspired, and I've got you on that. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and thanks for watching, whether you're on replay or live. Lakeisha, Sandra, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.